I'm gonna wait till Adam comes. Adam, you're in? Cool. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome to your third tribal challenge. I will explain to you what the challenge is, and then Covyasa, you'll decide which two people will be sitting out, and it cannot be the same person as last time, so Ashley will have to compete today. So the challenge is going to be a trivia / puzzle sort of thing. There will be 3 different rounds, music, movies, and TV shows. Basically, you'll have 30 seconds to look at an image and try to ascertain what it is. At the end of that round, you'll have 1 minute to lock it in. And then we will grade it, if you will, and we'll know how many points you have. We have a tiebreaker if it gets to that point. Marissa and Becca will be slacking you guys the Google Docs that you'll be using to fill out. This is a team challenge. You can all work together. However, the 2 Covyasa people that are sitting out may not participate. And if we see you slacking, which we will be monitoring, you'll be dinged a point. So saying that up front, this time we will be monitoring this as well. And we ask no Google, no internet or anything like that. And don't if you're the 2 Covyasa people sitting out, please be honorable. Don't direct message. We don't want cheating. It's a fun game. So something else that will happen is I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see what the challenge. You can watch that. That'll take over your whole computer. You just need to press escape to minimize that so that you can have the Google Doc pulled up as well. So first I'm going to make sure that you guys can all pull up that Google Doc and I can get confirmation that all of you have that. So once you have it, give me a thumbs up. I see. Laura, I can't hear you. Just unmute yourself.
Can we have scratch paper?
So you don't need to, you can just write in the Google Doc. Like if you guys wanted to, you can write on the, in the Google Doc.
For myself.
Marissa and Becca, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think that's totally fine if you want to write on scratch paper for yourself.
Agreed.
And then just know that whatever you're putting next to the number in the doc is what you're saying that your final answer is for that particular slide.
Correct. Yes, Brian.
I see, I'm not seeing the doc.
It was Slack to you guys.
It's Slack to us in our tribe channels.
Brian, I'll Slack you directly.
And I'm sorry, just to clarify,
Yeah.
the final answer, so we could I've got a little square highlighted here. We can write whatever we want in that little square. And then when we want it to be final, we put it in this square and the one right under.
So no, your final answer is within that grid. So if you wanted to write random, you would type
here,
Covyasa, but you would write next to it blah blah blah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So under the column that says TV shows, for example, from 1 through 10, everything's under TV shows are your actual answers.
And yes, so you'll have 30 seconds on each image, and then you'll have a final minute at the end of that 10-question challenge, in which case you'll have to lock in your answers. We'll grade them, and we'll go from there. Are there any other questions before we begin? Yes, Mary.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So how do we we discuss over Slack what we think the answer is? Is that?
I am not gonna, it's kind of however your tribe wants to do it, right? You could do Slack, you can use this Google Doc, you can talk out loud, but then
I guess the question is though, how do we, does the other tribe see what we're typing in?
No, you each have your own Google Doc. They can't see what you've done. You guys each have your own Google Docs.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure everyone else understood.
You're so tech savvy, Mary. The most.
I get it. I get it.
So Covyasa, you can please tell me which 2 people are sitting out. If you could raise your hand. So it's Lindsay and Myers. I'll ask you both to turn off your camera, please, and to mute yourselves. You may not participate in the Slack. You may not DM any of the contestants playing. If you do, your team will be dinged a point.
And Kel, sorry, where are the questions? Did you mention that already? You're going to put them up? Is that what you said?
Yep, I'm going to share my screen. I've got to have lots of things open for this. Hold on one second.
Kelsey,
Yep.
just confirmation, we're all working in each 3, and we start with 1, then there'll be a break, and then 2, and then 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Every single number is collaborative.
Yes. All of you can work together with your team.
And how much time?
You have 30 seconds to look at each slide, and then you have a minute at the end to solidify your answers.
Kelsey, I have a question.
Yep.
Every one of us has the Google Doc, and we are all writing our confirmed answer as a tribe in each one of those cells.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to confirm our answers in our Slack or some other way that we want to
However
communicate.
your tribe decides to do it.
Copy that.
Yep. Okay, so the only thing I'm concerned about is, how do I get this to?
While you're doing that, Kelsey, follow-up question. Can we write down the answers here and then when the challenge is kind of finished, type them all up? Or do we need to type them within the amount of time we're looking at that image?
Hold
While
on.
she's
sorry,
doing
guys.
her thing, I'll answer that question, Ezra. So
Thank you.
basically, you're gonna get 10 slides. Each slide will be 30 seconds. At the end of going through all 10 of the slides, there's gonna be an extra 60 seconds. So in that 60 seconds, whatever you're able to get into those cells before that round is over is what we're gonna be looking at. So if you keep it all blank and then put them all in that 60 seconds, that's your prerogative. Just know that once those 60 seconds are up, whatever we see there is what we're counting as your answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you have an incorrect word, like, this isn't one, but say it was Monsters Inc. and you wrote like Monsters Incorporated, like that would not be correct. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that I have this.
But we can have spelling errors.
I think a spelling error is fine, right, Becca and Marissa?
As long as it is reasonably in the
As
span
long
of
as
what the
you
word
can
is.
tell, like if we spelt it phonetically, you would know.
If
Like,
we
as
feel
long
like
as
the
it makes
spelling
sense.
error is so bad that it changes the answer, then we'll probably have to make that judgment call. But if we feel like the intention's there, we'll let it ride.
It will be a case-by-case basis.
So everyone can see this first slide, correct?
Huh?
On your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're gonna start with TV shows. And here we go. Okay, you have 60 seconds to finalize your answers. 60 seconds. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Three, two, one. Everybody out of the dock while we grade it.
Good job, everybody. That was tense.
Hands up, utensils down.
Wow.
Heads up, 7-Up.
Oh my gosh.
That's hard.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to flip through to reveal what the answers are.
Okay.
First one, SpongeBob SquarePants. The next one, Big Brother. Friday Night Lights. Family Matters. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Too Hot to Handle. Carol's Second Act. Malcolm in the Middle. Gilligan's Island. The Flintstones. The Flintstones. So I believe that it is 9 versus 9. Is that correct, Becca and Marissa?
That is correct.
So we are tied going into this second one. Here we go. Second category is songs.
Can you give us 1 second to get the doc back up?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
That's okay. Ready?
1 sec would be great.
Now I am.
Okay. And here we go. Okay, you have 60 seconds to finalize your answers. Ten seconds. Okay, pencils off the Google Doc. Becca and Marissa will check your answers as I reveal what they are. First one was Stairway to Heaven. Next one was Dancing Queen. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Hollaback Girl. The Real Slim Shady. Benny and the Jets. Semi-Charmed Life. Strawberry Fields Forever. House of the Rising Sun. And Sweet Child of Mine. Becca and Marissa.
We are consulting on one thing. One moment.
One
Okay.
moment.
Oh, interesting. Marissa and Beck, on the answer key, can you show me which one you're consulting? Okay, just based on that.
Yes.
It's a spelling issue, so we're just trying to decide the spelling issue.
So all of you freaking out on Slack right now, we're not docking you for of versus o. All of you would come for me and I don't want that.
Yeah, and be kind. We're doing our best. We had decided prior to this that with movies and TV, we're going to be a little bit less, but with songs, we were going to be more. So
Okay.
that's why we're trying to decide about that one.
Okay. Okay, Marissa and Becca, I'm making the judgment call on that one that I think it's fine that they didn't spell that word correctly. Okay, so with that, we are tied once again. Each tribe got 10 out of 10. Okay, we will now begin our last category, which is movies. And we will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marissa and Becca, this one is Chef's Kiss. 60 seconds to finalize your answers. Twenty seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody out of the Google Doc. I will now go through what the correct answers are as Marissa and Becca check scores. The Departed. Apocalypse Now. Brokeback Mountain. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Bye Bye Birdie. Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Bedazzled. 50 First Dates. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, we're going to tally this up. We have a tiebreaker on standby if we need it. Okay. One tribe got 7 correct. One tribe got 9 correct. Quaratonga, congratulations, you got 9 correct.
Yes!
You're
Woo!
not going to tribal.
Good job, everyone. Yeah!
Great job,
However,
Dad.
However, everybody,
Great
so
job.
Quaratonga, I'm going to ask that you mute yourselves and turn your cameras off. We are going directly into a tribal.
Oh. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing a 9th, right? No, you're all here, sorry. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to your first tribal. You guys have watched the previous tribal councils, so you kind of know the format, how it goes. I will ask questions, we'll discuss, then it will become time to vote. When it's time to vote, you will Slack me directly with who you'd like to vote for.
Okay.
So to begin with, Matt Rogers, my question to you is, you guys have been doing really well. You've won the last 2, which is great, right? You get to retain your tribe. No one has to go home. But does it also feel difficult because you can't test people's word or their trust because there hasn't really been a chance to put it to the test?
It's actually interesting that you asked that because we have found that we haven't really needed a tribal council to test loyalties. I think that everyone here is really smart and is really playing the game, but some of us are just playing a little bit harder than others. And unfortunately, there was some lack of trust and stability revealed in the coming days. So we've been pretty prepared for this moment.
You've been prepared. Okay, and so Ezra, I want to ask you, in the last tribal council, the other tribe, your name did come up. Did you then feel like, oh shit, I have a target on my back because the other, my tribe's gonna not want me to be this, person? Or did it make you feel secure because they're like, oh, maybe they want to keep me around because if we get to the merge, I'll be an easy vote and they'll want to keep me?
I wish I felt that strategic about everything, Kelsey. First of all, I was a little bit surprised and slightly hurt at first that out of everybody playing the game, I heard my name called out in a negative way. And that at first hurt my feelings because I'm a sensitive person. But then at the other side of it, I said, but this is a game, and Whitney was doing amazing by playing the game. And it was a very emotional decision for her, and I completely support her decision in doing that. It's not an easy time for anybody, and this game is fun as hell, but it is also stressful, and nobody needs to be carrying that around while we're all in quarantine, and you just got to figure out your next forward step. So I took a deep breath. I reached out to my tribe. They were all really much there for me, which I appreciated. And overall, I just said, you know what? That's just fun for everybody watching. It's fun for us to engage, and I just look at it as positively as I can.
Sure. So, Brittany, I want to ask you, you have immunity this first tribal just because Cody, chose you to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So did that make you feel more safe or less safe? Because on one hand, people could really count on you to vote because you're not going to go home. But on the other hand, you might have more of a target on your back because someone from the other tribe chose you out of the whole bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, I think it goes both ways because obviously I was really worried that it would put a target on my back. And, for me, it was totally out of the ordinary for him to even pick me. And I was like, I think it's just because I had, Christmas decorations up in my house. And that's kind of, a fun way to, hey, that's really cool. But I think it gives me some, I felt more comfortable this week knowing that if anything happens, at least I'm safe for one. But you have to keep thinking about how you can be safe for the others. So
Sure.
It's a double-edged sword, but obviously I felt confident because I know I'm not going, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be for the rest of the game. So
Sure. So Maddie, we've now, been several challenges away from that first initial challenge where we were able to come back. Your team was able to come back from that. This far in now, do you still feel like it's important to retain strong players to win challenges, or is it more of, I'd rather get this thread out because I don't want to have to deal with them further down the line?
No, I think we were really happy to have won the first two, and we felt really good about being a strong tribe, and we were proud of ourselves, but we knew that the likelihood would be that we're in the situation that we're in now. But yeah, I think that's something that I was worried about because I kind of messed up a little bit. I had a mess up on the sneaker, and I wanted to make sure that people felt like I was an asset and that I was strong in the challenges so that we could keep winning. But I hope that, people saw, I think that people were really nice about it and saw that the good thing was that I came back and I fixed it in time and we still won. And that's the most important thing. So I'm just going to focus on that and know that we're a team, and I trust that everyone's proud of the collective group as a whole.
Sure. So Laura, it's been X amount of days in, I think 4 or 5. And, Matt Rogers spoke about people's trust and loyalty already coming to light. Do you feel that it's been hurtful or helpful that you guys have been able to stay out of tribal council thus far?
Oh, very helpful. I'm so glad we're staying out of tribal council. I never want to come here. I really like our team. I think we're really strong. Honestly, much like Roger was saying, I was shocked at how hard people were playing when we weren't even going to tribal. I get play some, but why put a target on your back when we're not even voting? Some people are really trying to stir some stuff up, in my opinion, too early and for no apparent reason. So that was what caught my attention.
So Lindsay, off of that, do you think, what Laura's speaking about, is it better when, you're not going to tribal to be playing the game and figuring out your alliance so that when the time comes, you are ready? Or is it better to kind of, sit back, see how it comes and address it when it happens?
I think it's always important to be ready for anything. You never know, this tribal council happened now, we didn't necessarily know that this was happening. So it's always important to kind of be aware and always keep in mind who is in your alliance. But I think it's also important, in the beginning of this game, just getting to know everybody and feeling out your relationships with people. And I think too, from the last tribal council, the other tribe was kind of like calling out that like we haven't been tested yet, but I do think that we have been tested, and I think like we're a really strong tribe in general. So I think it's kind of important all around to be ready for anything no matter what.
So Matt Myers, I asked Mary this last time and I'm going to ask it now. You know, there is a gender difference in numbers. Did you feel any sort of concern when we first announced who was on your tribe to be like, oh, my gender's in the minority, there could be a gender voting block? Or was that never really a concern?
If it came up for me, it was kind of cool because generally I move through the world afraid of men. That's just how I operate. But no, it never came up as a strategic thing. I think it helped me feel more comfortable in the tribe. And the men that are on this tribe are just super nice. Here's one thing I'm like happy we're in tribal about, like silver lining. The other tribe gets to watch us now and see that maybe we are nice people who aren't terrible monsters. Because I know that we were watching them like, we're kind of nice. But to answer your question, no.
Okay. So Dylan, you've played this game before, which as we know can be a double-edged sword. It can be helpful, it can be hurtful. But do you feel like it, you know, like do you feel more one way towards the other? Like have you been able to help your tribe in those first two challenges? Or has it been more hurtful because people are like, he knows this game, he knows the stuff, like we can't trust this guy?
I think I was hopefully helpful with the first challenge because it was kind of a repeat of the first one we did last season. And then, I mean, after that, you guys have kind of stepped up the game. Like we didn't do the past two challenges. We didn't do anything like that the previous time. So I think my experience, you know, ended day 2 pretty much, and we're all on the same page. So
sure, but do you think having been in Slack before, does that play any sort of role, like helping or hurting?
yeah, I mean, I think, you know, everyone's kind of go through a learning curve of like, hey, the tough thing is you just don't know who's talking to who, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I think people kind of started to pick up on that. And so I just, you know, I mentioned that like, hey, it's very tough to tell because again, like we don't know. We would see someone walking off on an island, but and
sure.
we know they're talking. So
sure.
mainly
yeah.
just kind of, you know, you have to keep your, you know, eyes open, I guess.
Sure. So Ashley, off of that, you know, it is a totally different game than the real Survivor because you can't see people walking off. That's absolutely true. So do you then feel like I can't trust anyone, or I need to really like open myself up, trust one or a few people to be able to make it further? Or are you just operating from a place of like, I don't really know if I can take anyone's word?
Yeah, I think that's been my hardest thing is like, first of all, I'm working during the week and it's kind of ramped up for me, just like separate from this. So sometimes I'll be offline and just jump on really fast, be like, I need to talk to someone just to like keep tabs on what's happening. And then I'm like regretting that almost because I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, can I believe this person? Can I not? Like, am I being too aggressive? Kind of like what Laura said. I'm like, why did I start out by like saying like, where are the alliances, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been like kind of a struggle for me, like internally. I don't know where everyone else is at, but yeah, Slack is hard because it's easy to say something and stand by it because it's just words on a screen. But like separately, I think that everyone has been like really cool and awesome. And so I'd like to take that, you know, deeper than, you know, not trusting someone.
Sure.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
So, Brittany, we're, you know, 4 or 5 days in, there have been 2 clues dropped to the channel. Do you start to get worried at all about like, well, what do people have? And we haven't had to go to council twice thus far, so things could come out.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, I do think I mean, obviously there's a lot of paranoia in general, but I think there's so much paranoia when we are playing on Slack because you don't get nonverbal communication. And I don't know, like, if 3 people are online, like, I don't know if people are talking to just me or they're talking to me and the other person. So I think it's just if there's so much chaos, no one can feed through and see what is actually truth.
Sure.
So I mean, honestly, it just makes me sick because it's just, there's so much to think about that I'm just like, oh my God. So
fair enough.
I just got to take it one day at a time.
So Matt Rogers, something that, came up for us last season that I'd like to talk about again is, being a player, but also not overly playing and being that first person to throw out a name or create a group or anything like that. Are you finding that there's already that coming up for everyone on the tribe or coming up for you?
In the Slacks, absolutely. I have definitely also observed that in the tribal councils, they've all been really tame. The two tribal councils that we watched on Quaratonga's side, I felt were very kind of, I think we're all really wondering if they're saying what's up. And to be honest with you, because we've had a lot of time for the game to simmer underneath, I feel like I am just going to say what's up because a lot of us are talking about it. And what's up is that Dylan is making up a lot of stuff about a lot of people in terms of who has advantages, in terms of who doesn't, where alliances are. And I think that he's trying to play a sort of chaos agent game. I think he's got a real chip on his shoulder from however things went last season. And I would say flat out, and I've talked to most of you about this, but if you are in an alliance with Dylan, so am I. And I think that what he's trying to do is play pretty much all sides because it didn't go super well for him last time. He sort of tried to make up that I solely tried to create an alliance of 5 with whoever. And I heard about that after the fact. And I just think it's really important for us to, as a group, get out the person who we're not going to be able to trust because that's what's going to lead to leaks in the whole thing. So I'm voting Dylan tonight, and I hope everyone else does too.
Dylan, do you have anything you want to respond with?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've been doing that. I think I've been pretty genuine with people. I think he sees me as a threat, and so it's very easy to go after me. So that's fine. I didn't call him out, but he called me out. So I think that kind of represents it. So
what could you have called me out for?
You're just making things up.
I've spoken, whatever. I think we'll just vote and see.
So Laura, I want to ask, something that I think comes up a lot in Survivor is sometimes it's important to have a target that's bigger than you, right? Because it keeps the target off your back, right? You are able to use these people as a shield. Or do you not feel, I'm seeing you look a little bit like, no, I don't actually believe that. Do you not think it's important?
At this stage in the game, I'm just like, for me, it's not a shield. It's just like, why are people making themselves targets? Like, I just don't understand the level of like big play, like literally making things up or like trying to stir shit. Like at this level, especially like when we hadn't even been to like a challenge or like after one challenge that we knew we had won.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I don't think of it as, I think of people who are willing to make themselves targets and okay.
Sure. So
you want to put a name out there? Fine, put your own name. I have no problem with that.
So Maddie, that's interesting to me because, Matt Rogers has thrown out a name or told us how we're playing, which could be seen as, wow, great. He has told me I can trust him. I can look him in the eyes on this screen. I know what he's doing. But does that make you nervous at all of like, oh, he's running this vote right now. He's laying it on the line. If we don't fall in line, is that going to be a big issue?
Yeah, personally, I don't like playing with that kind of direction. And I feel.
Oh, damn it. Maddie, you're frozen. Okay,
while I have this moment, I'll just say it's not a direction. It's merely a statement of what I'm doing. I'm not directing anyone. I'm just telling you there's a weed in the grass. I'm fully not telling you what to do. I'm offering my opinion because I want the tribe to be strong and on the same page. I've reached out to you and I think we've had good conversations and I think you can trust me.
So Maddie, you're back. Did you want to finish what you were saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that, Rogers. I do, and we have had good conversations. I've had really good conversations with everyone here. I really love everyone, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys.
Damn it, Maddie, we have to leave you guys. So, oh, there you are. There you are. Go ahead.
You back? Okay. Sorry, it doesn't freeze for me, so I don't know that I'm frozen. But yeah, I mean that's really it. There's nothing else to add.
Sure. So Myers, shit, I had a question. God damn it.
You can skip me.
Okay, I'm skipping you because I can't remember.
Oh my God, that worked.
It is looking like you're on Slack. So do you feel like you have your vote solidified, or are you still figuring things out?
It's looking like I'm on Slack.
No, I'm talking to Ashley.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said actually.
No, sorry. Ashley.
Do I have my vote solidified? I don't know. I think I do.
So that could be disconcerting to hear that, whoever's working with you. Myers, I remembered my question. Nope. I have it. Oh, okay.
It's fine. Just let it go.
No, I just want to ask, you guys came to this tribal, I think it started out trying to prove to the other tribe that you guys are a good tribe. You are all nice people. You all are working together, that sort of thing. But it's kind of dissolved since then. We're not really at that point. Do you feel like this is showing the other tribe like, oh, there's a lot more cracks than we were letting on? Or do you feel like this frank and honesty like shows the other tribe that you're willing to, say what you're going to do?
If it's showing the other tribe that we have cracks, it's doing the same thing for me. I came in kind of comfortable, and I'm a little nervous after hearing a few things. I think we are all willing to play with each other, and we just needed a test, and I hope I get another chance to take it.
So Laura, it also looks like you're trying to figure out your plan. Do you have a solidified vote?
Oh yeah.
You're good?
Yeah, I think the thing with yesterday, because Ezra spoke on it already, but like because it hurt my feelings too that they didn't like us and that they thought we were mean, and the other tribe, and that we had it really, I think, hurt a lot of people's feelings on our tribe. So it's not I don't think that this is the fact that there might be that our team might have to start making some tough decisions is necessarily what they were talking about yesterday. So I think this is just us playing the game. Yesterday was us just trying to win a tribal, we want to win challenges. So now unfortunately means beating them. But that doesn't mean that we, are bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, it's time to vote. How it will work is I will say your name. You will Slack me directly who you would like to vote for. So with that, it's time. Maddie, can you please Slack me who you'd like to vote for? Okay, Ezra, can you please Slack me who you'd like to vote for? Laura, can you please Slack me who you'd like to vote for? Dylan, can you please Slack me who you'd like to vote for? Lindsay, can you please Slack me who you'd like to vote for? Oh, sorry, I didn't say this, but Brittany is safe. You can't vote for her. Sorry, Brittany.
I forgive you. It's fine.
Okay, Ashley, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Okay, Brittany, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Matt Rogers, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for.
I don't think he needs to Slack it to you, does he?
Sorry.
Matt Myers, please Slack me who you'd like to vote for. Okay, guys, hold on one second. I ran out of paper and I'm at my parents' house. Hey, Dad. Dad, where do I get more printer paper? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. I got it. Okay. No, Jessica. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me organize these votes. Okay. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time. Okay? I'll read the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Can you please all take out your phones and turn your flashlights on? Okay. First vote, Ashley. Second vote, Ashley. 2 votes, Ashley. Third vote, Rogers. 2 votes, Ashley, 1 vote, Rogers. Fourth vote, Rogers. 2 votes, Ashley, 2 votes, Rogers. Ashley. 3 votes, Ashley, 2 votes, Rogers. Rogers. 3 votes, Ashley, 3 votes, Rogers. Ashley. 4 votes, Ashley, 3 votes, Rogers. Ashley. 5 votes, Ashley. Ashley, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Do you have any last words you want to say?
My family's like moaning in the background right now. Love you guys. That was fun. I'm glad I can like work peacefully now.
Thank you, Ashley, for joining us. Everybody else, grab your stuff and head back to camp. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Bye, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.